Hello there. It is quite a bit after 1 p.m. on Tuesday, January 28th. I am Rob, the developer dad, and yeah, I'm starting a little late this session, but I think I got it figured out. I had some goofiness. I had my code set up correctly. I had my environments all set up and everything like that. But I did not have all of the app registrations and all of the permissions quite aligned properly up in Azure Active Directory for the permissions to actually flow through as I needed them to. So let's start by coming into a few Azure services and completely zapping that user. So we're going to go into the Azure tables, spin down here, and I want to find test Rob. You're out of here. Delete. Goodbye. And now I need to go to Developer Data Apps. Here we go. Here's this. I gotta open the tenant. It probably wants me to log in. Yep. Here we go. Here's that. And I gotta go to users. And I'll come find test Rob. Bye. Test Rob is gone. That account no longer exists anywhere in the systems. And let's shrink this down. I don't really need GM tools open right now. I've got this troubleshoot function app. We're going to delete that branch in a few minutes. So let's go to this here homepage over here. And I'll pop into my Gmail account for the test thing. And I'll just delete these emails. Those can go bye-bye. See ya. And let's sign up. Actually, let's refresh the app. And we're going to sign up and sign in. And we're going to sign up now because is testing no longer exists. Send that verification code. Pop over here. Give it a sec. Here it is. Grab this. Copy. Paste. Verify code. Great. Just use a strong password. Display name. Another Rob again. Rob tests. Again. Testing. And create. Now it's going to redirect. Yes, I want to update my password. Back to the app. And the app is actually going out to Entra and saying, hey, give me all the groups. And let's see what's what. And I don't know that I necessarily... Here's Rob test again. What about my NPCs? Okay, so that's right. Come home. It looks like when I zapped the Entra account, I did not properly zap all of the things. So let's come back here. We got to go back into the tenant. I'll pull this over onto the screen in a second. Come on. So here's this. Let's go into users. Here's Rob again. What groups am I in? I should only be in one. Okay, so there's that. So the question here is, let's inspect. Sometimes Safari gets a little goofy. Come over to network, we'll disable the caches and refresh. I want to fetch everything brand new, and for some reason it's still not showing me that. All right, let's sign out. Sign in using this. Give it my password. And there's upgrade now. Okay. So let's go to upgrade now. We'll do this. And what is it? Is testing stuff rob@gmail.com. $12, $30, 1, 2, 3. Rob again is testing. 1, 2, 3. Birch Drive, North Carolina. Troutman, 2823345. I don't know. Do that. And it's doing the thing. It's working. It's thinking. We're still in test mode. So that's groovy. And I'm probably going to need to log out and log back in. But there's that. It's processing. Continue. And let's just try refreshing. Or we'll go to home. NPCs. All right, let's log out. We'll sign in and give it my fingerprint. In we go. And we don't have the upgrade button anymore. And we see stored NPCs, 0 of 100. AI details, 0 of 100. We'll roll these dice a few times. Yeah, let's get some AI details. It's thinking. It's thinking hard. I have a feeling it might barf. We'll find out in a second. Or not. All right. Tobin Bramblefoot. So Weaver used to be a criminal. We'll save him. Go back to our list. And here's good old Tobin Bramblefoot right here. Groovy. All right. So a couple of things that are a little less smooth than smooth is, hey, what's up, Mischief? Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. So a couple of things that are less smooth than I would like to see is for new users. After signing up, we need to properly reload all credentials and re-render the home page. After upgrading, user has to log in and out, or log out and back in again to see the features they've paid for. And I don't know how to fix that flow. I'm going to have to see if there's something I can do there to rework how that works. But we've got a basic functioning thing. So there's a couple of things under the main app to-dos that I want to try and repair here. And that is these two items here. Update the Create NPC feature to allow free users to save the randomly created characters if they have enough storage slots. So, to do that, I am going to sign out. Let me get rid of this stuff. That can go away. And I'm going to come back to here, to the users. And I'm going to zap Rob again. So the login is gone. Now I have to go torch the data. And I'll just pull this over here. This is nothing new. I've done all this stuff before. So I'll just load into the storage browser and do this. Spin down the bottom. Look for Rob again. Here's Rob again. Right click. Delete. Bye. And we'll pull you over here. And now I'm going to close this stuff out. Well, except for the Gmail tab. But I'll close that down. And let's see here. Do I have GM tools? I do not. I'm going to quit out of VS Code completely. And pull this over. And open in VS Code. Bring this guy over here. And let him use most of the screen. Oops, I didn't realize the environment variables file was open. I'm gonna have to go, I have to reseed all those secrets anyway. All right. OpenID Connect events, all of this stuff. What are you complaining about? Get lost. All right. So let's come out to home actually. Before I dive into this bit, I want to see if there's a little something I can do out here. Redirect to identity provider, on authentication failed, on ticket received. Do I have anything in here? Okay, it's trying to get claims. App roles exist. Load user permission groups, async, object identifier. Yeah, this is rather clumsy. I bet I can fix this up so that it's a little less crappy here. Groups, user access, permission groups async. If it's false, we go out and we hit AD, or Entra, sorry, and then we try reloading. Okay. But what I want to try and sort is on the components, on the what's this account button? I'm going to delete that. I'm not using it. Yeah, get lost. Bye. Get out of here. View NPC attributes. Pull paid users. So the AI button is the only one for paid users. So we're going to move this down here. We'll scooch this up like so. And do that. Now, what are you complaining about? You're nuts. Oh, because when I pasted it, it added a new authorized view closing tag. Goofball. All right, now, is save button visible? Where do you get declared? You get declared somewhere in this Razor CS. And, excuse me. Let's go to the definition here. Save NPC collect is null, return false, app context, return false, Get user limits. If user quotas is null. Oh, that's great, Mischief. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm already checking to make sure that the storage available I want to see this definition here. Limited resource model, unit budget minus consumed. Groovy. Okay. So let's try running, and I'll log in as my testing account. Or, well, I'll have to create a new testing account rather. And I believe it's localhost 7277. It are. Pop a new tab. Boop. HTTPS localhost 7277. And it's obviously confused because it's got some identity stored in its cookies. And let's try it with the password. And it's going to say, no, I don't know you. Yep. We can't seem to find your account. Sign up now. Send the verify code. Check out the email. That's an old one. That can go away. And here's the new one. Copy. Paste. Verify code. Go ahead and use a strong password. I don't care. And Rob tests. Tester. Mick tester face. Create. Yes, update the password. And this is where it's going out and saying, hey, this guy doesn't have any groups. Let's add the basic groups. And this is not loading quite right. So we're going to sign out. I'm going to sign in again using the newly established account. There's the upgrade now button. Let's go to NPCs. Got 0 of 5 stored. So let's say I need the basics for a blacksmith. Where's a blacksmith? I really ought to sort this list. Brewer. Heck with it. They're going to be a brewer, not retired. Half orc, brewer, grew up as an acolyte. And I still don't see this, the save button. So I want to take a peek at what's going on in here. And let's just do save. It's on view NPC attributes. What's the name of the variable I'm looking for? If is save. Here we go. And we can make this find thing go away. Get lost. Get save button visibility. Go to definition. I'm going to drop a breakpoint right here. So we'll come out here and take a look at this. And we'll refresh. Whoop. All right, save NPC clicked. And app context, not null. Child content render fragment. Context container. Not the child content, you goose. Game tools user. Rob tests, user ID, roles, GM tools users. Cool. So the identity exists. And get user limits. User quotas. I've got NPCs in storage. Good. Storage available is user quotas. What's my storage available? I have 5. And we are going to return true. And let's take a peek at the UI. So here's stored NPCs. Let's go new NPC. Show options. Let's go with a Potter. Dwarf, so it's a Harry Potter, but our button is still not showing. Excuse me. So let's drop a breakpoint here as well. Oh, it won't let me. Will it? That feels very silly. Is reroll visible? Here's the nav, authorized view policy is that. Where can I put a breakpoint? There? Nope. How about here? Oh, you know what I bet I have to do? I bet I have to rebuild. And rerun. Here's all the things. Reload! Reload, I say! All right. Is save NPC visible? That's, oh, is save button visible? It is false. Why is it false? Storage available is 5. Oh, because I haven't reassigned it yet. Now it's true. For each choice, blah, blah, blah. Just let her rip. Refresh. One more time. Just go. Pop out here. New NPC. There's our save NPC button. Good. So Halfling, retired scholar, Elf Fisher, who was an urchin. Save. Back to the list. View. Back to list. And we have one stored NPC. Winning. Okay, so I've got some things to research between now and tomorrow. And to prioritize those, it is, let's just come over to my immediate to-dos. This logic is in place. That's set. Generate details button and save character buttons stay alive on the UI. AI quota does not get incremented when this happens. Okay, that's for when something funny happens on the way to the AI bill. Loading usage, that's something else. But these are my priorities. And let's make them bold. I need to revisit that stuff. Or I need to research ways that I can make that happen. As well as start hooking the application up to a custom domain name. And other fun things like that. So that instead of the secret URL that, basically people can log into but can't really do anything with, it'll actually have a decent looking URL that people would get redirected to and all of that stuff. And yeah, so that problem has been solved. I've got my web. The lemon squeezy is talking to let's back up. Application is talking to the API, is talking to lemon squeezy to get the upgrade link. You click the upgrade link, it goes out to lemon squeezy, you type in the thing, you complete the financial transaction, and lemon squeezy calls my webhook, which is an Azure Function app, which validates that the message coming into the function app is actually from lemon squeezy. It then authenticates with my backend API and forwards that upgrade information to the backend API, which updates all of the stuff in the backend storage for the application itself and makes sure that that user ID is a member of the correct Microsoft Entra groups to control the things on the menu. And then finally, you get back to the UI. You log out, you log back in, and you've got access to the API, the AI stuff, and the 100 storage slots and all the goodness. I want to try and automate it so that you don't have to do the log out, log back in steps in between things. But we'll figure that stuff out as we go. Or I'll figure that stuff out between now and tomorrow, or I won't and come up with workarounds. But yeah, functionally, this freaking close. So that makes me rather happy and rather excited, because the next step is actually getting everything moved over to the proper domain names and getting a couple of paid subscribers so that I can upgrade the hosting to be a little quicker and a little more reliable. And then I can start adding features to the actual main app again, starting with delete NPC and edit NPC. And then I want to add game stats like strength, intelligence, constitution, hit points, armor class, things like that to these NPCs that get generated. Because if you've ever run or played a D&D game, there are certain players that take delight in meeting a blacksmith or a tavern keeper and merrily uninstalling their birthday and taking their loot and hoping to get extra experience points from having unalived a poor, hapless townsperson while in the middle of their adventures. I don't like that in my games. I usually heavily penalize my players when they try to do that stuff, or say, oops, surprise, this tavern keeper is a retired 20th level warlock. You've just been eaten by Cthulhu. Um, so yeah, I've done that before, much to the dismay of the player that tried to attack the retired adventurer who became a tavern keeper. But that gets old fast. So yeah, I do need to put in some game stats. I've got tons of ideas for expanding, even just the NPC creation part. Um, I'd love to get to the point where I've got um, basic stats for at least the critters that are described in the 5e system reference document. So we won't have mind flayers or beholders or any of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast or is trademarked as part of Dungeons and Dragons itself. We won't have access to those things, but we'll still have tons and tons and tons of other creatures that we could base NPCs off of. Kobolds, goblins, half dragons. Well, we've already got Dragonborn, but uh, all manner of things. You know, there could be a bouncer at a tavern who's a bugbear, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, that's down the road. Got to get got to get the app hosted in a paid account. Got to get some people paying me to use this thing before I do the hosting in a paid account, and then I can start adding more fun stuff like that. Starting with delete and user editable NPC attributes. Like after you've done the random picking, if you want to add your own stuff instead of farming that out to the AI, I'm going to set that up so that that's possible. So yeah, um, I think that makes a pretty solid day's work, at least in terms of live building and live coding and so on. And as promised to Mischief the Cat, earlier in the stream, I said I would take a new look in Safari at the website they're building for their cat who wants to become, or rather, Mischief the Cat is building a website and wants to become a big famous live streamer. So here's Mischief. Mischief is a very cute kitty, and you're doing a wonderful job paying the cat tax, Johnny. Johnny is Mischief's human. And let's see what loads when I go to /stream. We saw this work in Edge before. Hey, look. We're waiting for Mischief Live. And for now, we've just got a picture of Mischief. And Mischief is adorable. Look at you. So that's some pretty cool stuff, dude. You should be very pleased with your progress on this. That's really solid. What are you using for the build? Yeah, it was just a Twitch thing, but what are you using to make the page and stuff like that? Is it just vanilla JavaScript and HTML and CSS, or are you using some kind of framework like React or Angular or Vue or one of the 17 other new ones that I've heard about in the past month? I just started studying React like last week. Um, I dig it. I really, really like what I'm seeing with that. And when you add TypeScript for a little bit of type safety, that kind of solves a lot of the beefs that I personally have with front end web development. So yeah, I'm in between my to-dos for the DM's familiar. I'm going to be digging more and more into React because there are things with Blazor and how it works that I am not in love with and are actually moving in the direction of becoming annoyances to me. And I think um, for the purpose of my own learning and professional growth, and the purpose of having to show off to potential employers that say, "Do you have any React experience?" I'm seriously considering rewriting the front end. Not before launch. I want to get the product out there, but uh, I intend to. As of right now, my answer is yes. I am unsure what tomorrow brings until it comes along. Because having been unemployed for over 8 months now, my mental health is in the toilet. I know I fake it real good when I'm streaming, but there are days I get up and it's all I can do to get onto the correct side of the mattress. Um, you know, the temptation to just crawl under the bed and hide from the world is very, very high these days. But I want to get I got to get excited again and start pushing this thing forward. And I think getting a couple of paid subscribers will help bridge that gap. So I want to get this done. All right, friends, I'm going to bounce. And great work on that, Mischief. Um, RTMP. I don't even know what that stands for. RTMP. Oh, real time media player? I'm just guessing at what that acronym is. Most acronyms these days, I turn totally into this guy. I see new acronyms and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad I remember to bring that graphic back up to the top for when I start struggling with something and I'm just hacking on things. So now I can just very quickly, I don't know. So cool. Yeah, I've not done a whole lot with multimedia or anything like that. When I want to bring in video or animations or what have you, I tend to do the animations as just plain vanilla CSS with graphic swapping and stuff like that, or tweening of characters or other sub images and so on. I don't like the idea of serving actual multimedia content from my Azure services because the um, egress fees at that point become incredibly risky. Because I do get a good number, like I think my first 5 gigabytes of data transfer out of my domain is free every month. But then after that, it starts to add up. It's only pennies, but it adds up. So when it gets to the point where, haha, I've got thousands and thousands of paid users, that's when I can afford a CDN, content delivery network, um, to kind of defray some of those costs for transporting data out of the Azure region. But yeah, serving multimedia content directly from my code base is not something I'm interested in ever doing. I'll embed a YouTube video or something, but at that point, it's the browser that goes to YouTube and gets it, and so on. Yeah, yeah, that's my concern. There is, as this thing grows, um, it can get expensive, but hopefully, I've got enough users to pay for all of that external traffic. And if I do end up going to a React front end, then I can move the front end application into a static website rather than a full-fledged Azure web application, and then just have the API part that static website would talk to hosted as the Azure web app, and that'll become probably much more cost effective. But that's a step I don't need to take yet. And frankly, I'm not ready to rewrite the entire front end in React. There's too much stuff that I don't know yet. So yeah, that's a really cool, fun little site you've built there, Mischief. You should be proud of that. And embedding the YouTube link and all that, that's super cool. That's really neat. And I am going to say, have yourselves a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, happy coding. Bye now.